Young Justice Season 4, Episode 5. We just finished watching it, and we're going to talk about the positives, negatives, and a lot of other things. But first off, I want to make a statement. I want to talk about why I think Artemis is the heart of Young Justice. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I just thought of this recently because of this episode. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. The first 4 episodes weren't doing it for me.
Yep. He hates the Mars arc, everyone.
By the way, my name is Scott, and we have Chuku as well.
Yeah.
I don't hate the Mars arc, Chuku. I just wasn't like feeling it, you know? Like, it was okay. it wasn't like my favorite like arc.
Yeah.
Of the entirety of Young Justice.
I don't worry. I agree with you. I guess for me, I found some enjoyment of it, but overall, especially after watching this episode, there's a big difference in terms of intrigue and story in general.
Exactly. There's a huge difference. Like it's black and white, dude.
Exactly. And that's funny that you said black and white, because this is really the issue of this episode, which was a moral dilemma, which is what was the right thing to do. Because it's like you have a character, Artemis, who's been through this kind of struggle where we knew, again, with Sportsmaster, her kind of dilemma of like trying to fit into the villain life as well, trying to be a hero life. But we really see how that's affected her to this day in terms of like raising a family, in terms of like what should she be doing, and then even with these characters that came introducing, where it's like, okay, what's the right thing? Like, I shouldn't just like, should we not trust these people? Should we do trust these people? And you really feel it. You really genuinely see both sides. They're not like, well, you're an idiot for not trusting them, or at the same time you're not saying you're not an idiot. So it's like, again, gray is really what this episode describes. So
And I feel like Artemis is the perfect character to have it like be, I mean, your theory was that, you know, they're going to do arcs and get into the story behind each character, right?
Yeah.
And funny, you're right. You're dead on. Like, it's kind of crazy how dead on you were. If you guys listen to the previous episode, he was like, oh yeah, I think they're going to change. Me, I was stupid. I was like, oh, I think they're going to show Connor being alive. but I guess not. I mean, I'm sort of glad we get to see some repercussions of it, and like a callback to Wally.
Yeah, exactly.
And I thought it was funny how Artemis's mom was like, "Oh yeah," when Artemis was talking about what she should do.
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, you're gonna bring Wally back?" That's one of the lines. And I was like, "No, I'm talking about Jade." And I was like, "Oh man." But anyways, Artemis, I just feel like if you think and look back, Season 1, she carried so much intrigue because everyone thought she was the mole.
Exactly.
Right? She was the one who stood out the most. Like, she had Sportsmaster as her dad, and just a lot of bad history. But in the end, she proved to be like a great character. Exactly. And in Season 2, she became even cooler, becoming Tigress.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like going undercover, like pretending to die. Holy shit! Like, her storyline is just great.
Yes.
And then Season 3, she was still there. She was helping out a lot. She was definitely an essential member. But I feel like Season 3 was one she didn't get as strong as a role, but she was still very important, I feel.
Definitely. She kept Wally alive, was to say that. So
yeah, and with that one episode, and then Season 4, now we get to see like more of her, and I just feel like this is the Young Justice that I miss, you know? This is the Young Justice that I want to see.
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying like Artemis is the heart of Young Justice, because I really feel that way. And that's why I'm happy with this episode.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I feel like I was about to say, I kind of feel like this is kind of the reason what we love about this episode, because we don't know how this arc is going to be, but I was going to say what we love about this episode comparing to the other episodes is just like, for me, again, what I loved about Young Justice, going back to the whole moral ambiguity aspect of it, is that question of what's the line, you know, because, you know, the show kind of began with this idea of like, okay, if we're sidekicks, where do we stand in this hero thing? Are we just meant to be just, you know, we're Batman's leftovers, or do we have a role? And then even in that role, do we have to be in the justice route? And for the most part of the whole series, we kind of see this whole moral dilemma of what's right and wrong. Like, what is the question? What's the line? Even with last season, despite that it not being the most favorable season, it still played off the whole line of what is right for heroes to be doing, what is wrong. And again, Artemis is the perfect character because, again, she has a background where she's, kind of with the League of Shadows. So it's like, but then at the same time, Batman's also part of the League of Shadows. So should he be considered, like, could we consider people who are have a bad background to be bad people? So it's like, it just, you see that, and the show plays with it very well, and it's, everything's understandable. And it goes back to why I love the show. Mm-hmm. Not to mention with the subverting your expectations. Like, I did not expect to see when, what's it called? I don't know who that new lady, the new assassin, the black girl, whatever. I feel bad not knowing her name. I don't know who she was.
It's okay. I don't remember her name either. Either way, it's just the two potential moles. There you go.
The two potential moles. But even the first mole, let's just go call her the first mole for the sake of this video. I did not expect, not Red Arrow.
Vandal Savage's daughter?
No, Arsenal and the other Archer to come at that right moment where she was like walking.
Arrowhead?
Arrowhead. I did not expect them to just appear randomly at that moment where she's trying to spy on Artemis, right? Because normally in those scenes, it's like, or Artemis is going to figure out who she was and like attack her, or she attacks him. But they come in out of nowhere. It's like, again, that's the thing I love about the show. Subverting your expectations, So it's like...
And I'm glad that they were competent. Like, they kicked her ass.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, we got to take her seriously, and then Arsenal kicked her ass, and I'm like, yes, like don't make our heroes look incompetent.
Exactly.
Not that they would do that, but I don't know. I just feel like the Mars arc, like everyone was, I don't know, man. Everyone was just kind of a little bit dumb. That's just me, man. I don't know. Like, I just feel like they could have done a lot better. But yeah.
It's definitely interesting. The utilizing. I love how they're utilizing the two Roys, especially even though he's a bowman. What's it called? I forgot the title of it, but he's still like the other Roy is like a bowman hero, and then the other Roy is like the Arsenal Roy, and it's just a fun comedy dynamic. And speaking about callbacks, there's a lot of callbacks in this episode.
Yeah, I love the joke about the mole. If you have experience being a mole.
Exactly, that was a good callback. I love that one, a joke. But even the flashback, one of the flashbacks was recently taken from season 1, where what's it called? Cheshire says, every girl's for themselves. I remember that scene in season 1. So it's like,
100%. They just full on ripped out that scene to give it a continuation.
Yeah, so it's like you can see it, and it plays right perfectly why she makes her decisions, because we can see why she has a hard time with the two moles. Like, well, she's been considered a mole, and she doesn't want, and she believes that through her sister that people who have a dark past deserve to have a chance. So it's like it's just, again, it's everything I like. It's just well done, what I'm saying? Like, it's just really good episode, and we get to see I don't know who that guy is that Chester, when she went to the island, that one dude who I like to call Iroh, because he looks like Iroh from Avatar.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure who he is either. Crap, we gotta do our research.
I feel bad.
Our bad, guys. Like, our bad. Like, I feel like we should know, because we are DC fans. But like,
we are.
We've just been out of the loop for a while. So
exactly.
We'll do our research. Don't worry. You guys can also let us know in the comments.
Yeah, let us know in the comment. Correct me. I'm just gonna call him Iroh because we're more Avatar knowledge more based. So, but correct me on wrong. But point is, like, that, and then even the setup with Damien, and I love that line where she's like, where Talia al Ghul is talking to Chester, and she's like saying like, oh, like basically she's basically implying that she's a better mother, and I was like, I really felt that. I was like, dang, like, at least I know he's not gonna grow up bad. I'm like, oh, like, geez. So it's just, everything's just playing very well, and I really like that they are playing all this stuff. So yeah, I mean, is there any more good you have to say? Because I do have one gripe, that if we want to go to negatives.
I mean, overall, I thought the episode was good. Like, seeing like our favorite characters again, just the old group and more of them, and just like, I don't know, just the story overall, the feel overall was just way better than any of the other episodes so far, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, I just I just brought up a list. I think one of them was named Onyx, like the new character.
Okay.
Onyx, I think.
Okay.
And then Cassandra Savage was the other one.
Yeah, Cassandra Savage.
I did. Yeah, I do enjoy that whole like which one is lying type of thing, you know?
Yeah, I like it.
Because I do think one of them is lying. Because it would be kind of weird if they were both just telling the truth.
Dang, I was gonna put this in like predictions because I was gonna go in my negatives before I get to this point. But I don't know. Part of me feels like they're both working together. Like, I know they made a point about that, which is also funny. So it's almost like a whole meta thread of like, they both could be lying. Who's lying? Who's lying?
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I feel like they both are working together. It just seems too
weird. That would be very fun. By the way, for people who don't, I mean, you wouldn't know this. Like, I love playing deception games, like board games like Avalon, Resistance, stuff like that. And it's such a great strategy for the two spies to like pick on each other, so that at least the good guys who don't know that they're spies will think that one of them is a good guy, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good valid strategy, actually. Yeah.
It is.
For me personally, I think one person is guaranteed to be bad. Because it would just make for a bad story if they were just both good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like Arsenault's character is going through some conflict in trying to determine what she should do, and if they're just both good, it's too easy for her.
Yeah.
So that's. Yeah. I mean, I could be dead wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah. I another thing to add about Scott. I mean, for people who don't know about Scott, he also likes to be honest. So for him to lie is very also interesting because he's the most honest person and likes to be the truth all the time as well. So it's a very interesting duality.
Yeah. When the game tells you to lie, like you just got to do it. You know, like it's a game.
You only lie when the rules allow you, but when it's not the rules, it's against the rules for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, but
anyways, so negatives, right? You wanted to get
my negative, my negative for this episode. It has to do with the animation. I don't know what it was, but the animation seemed a little choppy. Like something was lightly off. Like I noticed it during the fight scene. Something just didn't look like. If you watch like a lot of the older episodes and see the fight scenes, they look more smooth. This episode, for whatever reason, just seemed a little clunky at moments. And then even like those stills, which I get why they do it, same time it's just something just makes me go like, why is the quality so lower, you know?
Yeah, and the car too, man. It looked weird, like when the car was going around, like it looked like these 2D animation type things where there wasn't much movement to it. I don't know. You're right. Like for sure, the animation just seemed a little bit off. Like the art too could have been like more clean and polished as well, in my opinion. But you know, overall, it's still better than it was. Like story wise and everything else. So I'm willing to give it a pass. Like I'm not like super hardcore about disliking the animation stuff, even though I do think that they could do better.
I think for me, again, I'm not hating on animation, especially after this episode. Like this episode, like if I had to choose between good animation from the last 4 episodes and then this episode, I would choose this episode, of course. But I think for me, I guess my gripe that took me out a little bit was the fight scenes, because like after, again, you know, I love Young Justice. When you rewatch the old Young Justice and the fight scenes are very like smooth, and then you see this and then it's like not as smooth, that is a little bit like, it didn't destroy the fight scenes at all, but I just felt like it could have been better. And for me, when I think of Young Justice for me, whenever, one thing I loved about this show was that I felt like it was a quality show, like not just story quality, but like acting, fight scenes, everything was quality. So when something's a little bit off, it kind of, for me, that was like, it doesn't ruin the whole episode. Like I can enjoy it, and I could still, like, even if the whole season has bad fight scenes, whatever, if the story's good, I can forgive it. But it is sort of kind of a disappointment to be like, this show had quality this, and now we're lacking quality in one area. So that's where my gripe is with it. So, but
definitely, it probably won't improve either, just saying, because, you know, they probably do everything at once for this season.
Exactly.
Same team, same production. So
exactly. I mean, it is what it is. I'm hoping maybe in the next, because obviously we're getting like, from my understanding, we're getting like 13 episodes, and then after this 13 episodes, they're going to take a hiatus. Then the next 13 episodes, hopefully those next 13 episodes, something improves. But other than that, you know, again, I'm looking forward to the arc. I still believe those two are both moles, and this is just a trick. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems, that to me seems like the case, but I could be wrong. Maybe it could be a thing where one of them is a mole, and then they turn around, and the other one wasn't supposed to be a mole, but then they turn around and develop and switch. It could be one of those things. Maybe this is the show maybe the show is just trying to troll us because they've done this mole story. Like, they basically said they did the mole story twice with Tara and then with
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe the show is just trolling.
That's funny.
us.
I also thought it was hilarious when Artemis was asking everyone, "Can we trust them?" And they're like, "Nah." And they're just like asking Orphan.
Yeah,
She's
exactly.
Like, nope, definitely not. I'm like, that's so funny.
Exactly. That's true. It's funny. It's funny to see that, and then even like Tara and all that. Yeah, this is interesting because it goes back to the whole idea of like, we don't know. It's like we're all confused. We're all in this whole. We're all trying to figure this out together. So I like that aspect of it. So
I'm interested to see how this game of Avalon ends. So
yes, we'll see. But let us know in the comments if you guys have any ideas about who you think is the mole for those two candidates that we got in this whole episode. And again, you know, if you still feel strongly about the Mars arc, let us know why we're wrong about Mars.
yeah. Actually, before we go, we're gonna go ahead and just include some more like community interaction with, you know, viewers who decide to comment and whatnot, because we really appreciate it when you guys comment.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read some from the previous episode that we did.
Yeah.
It's just a couple. So John said, I still gotta watch episode 3 and 4, and then he said, why does everyone get new drip except my boy Superboy? My dude wears that same shirt 24/7. That's so true.
It is true.
Like I said last episode, Superboy is just a rock, man. Was it last episode, or I said it at one point?
I think
he's just
it
a
was.
Rock. Like he's
it was
steady.
the
You know,
other
he's
two
the character.
episodes.
Yeah. He's the character that's just always the same and consistent, and that's why we appreciate him. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's shown growth for sure, but like that's just his style. He likes looking the same.
Yeah.
He's actually buffer. I think he's like just bigger.
He's a little bigger, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Nitro said, "Bro, first Wally, now Superboy. I just want my boy Kid flashback." You know, I feel you, but I don't think Superboy is gone. I'm just saying that right now. I really do not think that he's gone.
I don't know. I'm actually starting to question it because, or if he's gone, it's either a situation where they're gonna bring him back to life, because the way his body was in the thing, like even when I watched the episode again because I had to edit it, I saw that his body was just still there, like it was just like in the thing.
But
so
if you look at the episode, right, there's just too many things that happened with the Legion and also that random guy that appeared that looks like Static.
Yeah,
there's just way too much that happened.
There's too many things. Like I think it's possible afterwards they saved him, but I know they didn't save him immediately. Like you could see his body is there. It's not like his body disappeared immediately. You see his body. So it's also possible that they took a clone, and I don't know how they do it. So it's either gonna be like they bring him back to life from that love party, or that love, or I mean not love, lava, or maybe it's something where it's like they or it's like they just like, because they want people to think Superboy is just killed, they put like a clone or a body double or something like that. But it's one of two. Regardless,
for sure Superboy is coming back, and if this season is nice to us, we'll get Wally back as well. So
I seriously don't think Wally's coming back. I honestly,
seriously, I really believe Wally's gonna come back at some point.
I'm 100% certain somewhere that the creator confirmed that Wally was gone.
I don't believe him. He's just lying.
He's trolling. Who knows? Maybe this was during keep in mind, this was during the time when Young Justice was gone. So maybe he was just saying that to be like, the show's gone. Wally's a metaphor for the show. So
no, dude, it's gonna be epic. Like maybe season 7 or something. Wally's just gonna come back.
He's gonna come. What's come? Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows?
I have faith.
I have faith.
I have
Who knows?
absolute faith.
I feel like he's gonna come back as a clone. That's just gonna be a thing.
No way. All right, let's see. Larnie says it was nice to see more of Mars in this arc. You know, as much as we like totally hated on that arc, like, you know, I'm glad some people enjoyed it. Like, honestly, I am glad that some people enjoyed it.
To be honest, it seems like most of the fan base enjoyed it, from my understanding. There's only like a few of us who are a little bit like on our little
crap.
We're on our own little planet where we're like, screw Mars, you know.
we're just like the minority complaining about like this arc that we just weren't feeling it, you know, like.
We're obviously those white.
We like.
We're the white aliens in the thing, and they're the green aliens. So that's why. But yeah, man.
All right, well, that's pretty much it. So if you guys want your comments to be read, we will probably do that again for the next episode. So feel free to comment down below.
Okay.
All right, later.
Peace.